To understand how to do systems of equations, you'll have to review your Algebra 1 on solving systems of equations. This problem is slightly more advanced, so they do give us a hint on how to solve this. We're supposed to find the values of u and v that fits in this equation as well as fits into the second equation. So if we were to graph this equation and this equation, where they intersect is our actual answer. But notice how the format looks a little different than what we're used to. So they tell us to use they give us a hint to tell us to use x equals I over u and y equals I over v. So I'm going to convert 6 over u into 6x. And how did I do that? Well, we know that 6 times 6 over u equals 6 times 1 over u. Therefore, this is 6 and I over u, we're going to substitute for x. For 3 over v, we're doing the same thing. We know that 3 is equal to 1 over v equals to 3. 1 over v is y. So we're just substituting it. We're converting it so that it's going to be a lot easier, and this is what we're more familiar with, this form. I'm going to do the same for 2 over u, which is going to be 2x minus 9y. So you can review this on how I did the conversion. Equals to 4. Now this is something we're more familiar with. This is what we call solving systems of equations, where the x and y have to be able to fit into both equations. If we were to graph these two equations, where they intersect will give us our x and y. So now we can begin with standard systems of equation. We look at the two equations and say, how can we eliminate one of the variables? Now you can look very closely. 6 and 2 do not cancel out, 3 negative 9 do not cancel out, but we can multiply the top equation by 3. The reason why I would do that is because 3 times 3y would become 9y, and that can cancel out with negative 9y. So I'm just going to rewrite it here. So we have 18x plus 9y equals 6. Make sure you distribute all the way across. Then I'm just going to rewrite this equation again, right under it. And we're going to add the two equations together to eliminate y. 18x plus 2x is 20x. We successfully eliminated the y. Positive 9y minus 9y is 0. And then 6 plus 4 is 10. We go ahead and divide 20 to both sides because our goal is to get x. And we find out that x equals to half. But we're not done yet because we also need to find y. Now you can plug half into this equation or this equation. Either one should work because the point we're finding has to be able to fit into both equations. So I'll just go ahead and plug it into this equation here. 2 and x is now half minus 9y equals to 4. This becomes 1. We're going to go ahead and subtract 1 to both sides. We get negative 9y equals to 3. Divide both sides by negative 9, and we get y equals to 1/3. Negative 1/3. Now we're not exactly done yet because now we have to go ahead and find u and v. So how do we do that? Well, we know that x equals 1 over u. So x is half equals 1 over u. And if we're solving for u, we can cross multiply, so u equals 2 now. So we found u. Now we have to find v. V, if you remember, y equals to 1 over v, which is equal to negative 1 over 3. We can cross multiply. 3 equals to negative v, divide -1 to both sides, and we get v equals to -3. Now when you write the answer, you have to decide, do you write 2, -3 or -3, 2? Well, in the alphabet, U comes before V, so your final answer is 2, -3. Make sure you watch this video because there's a lot of things that you have to understand. How to convert this, which I show right here, to get 6x and 3y. Then we're solving for systems of equation like we do in Algebra 1. But to do that, we had to multiply the top equation by 3 in order to eliminate the y. Then after we find the x, we have to convert it back to u. So I set x equals I over u, which they told us, which is equal to half. And in order to solve for u, I cross multiplied and I got u equals to 2. And I did that the same for 3.